ORIONE Community Training Center is a beacon of hope and transformation. The facility has over the years become a haven of persons with disabilities. Behind its success is a passionate, soft-spoken and determined leader, Richard MANYARA, the project manager, whose vision and tireless work have propelled the center into one of the most respected institutions.
ORIONE Community Training Center in Kenya has two branches, one in Murang'a and one here where we are present in Ongata Rongai, Kandisi. And this ORIONE Community Training Center is a team of multidisciplinary professionals, teachers, therapists, nurses, teaching assistants and support staff. And we try and we do intervene or rather work with a total of 100 children and youth with conditions such as autism, spectrum disorders, cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, among other mental conditions and syndrome. Been working in this institution for the last 11 years, and my area is in project management, basically to try and develop proposals and grant proposals for that matter to present to potential donors, benefactors, so that they can support the work that we do here, that is providing special education, early intervention, rehabilitation, which is physiotherapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, animal assisted therapy, music therapy, health and nutrition, and vocational training in farming, in addition to community advocacy in disability awareness.
When the doors of ORIONE Community Training Center first opened, its mission was simple: to provide skills, therapy, and support services for individuals living with disabilities. What began with a handful of clients and a skeleton staff slowly grew, nurtured by the unwavering belief that every person, regardless of their physical or cognitive limitations, deserves an opportunity to thrive.
During that time, it was not easy because, again, of the stigma, the stereotype, and the lack of awareness about mental conditions and syndromes. I might say within the scope of disability, my perception, there is a hierarchy. Is categorization very clearly, physical disability, what that is, there's that. But when it comes to mental conditions and syndromes, there's a lot of lack of information and awareness. So the community were not fully aware what is autism spectrum disorder. Why is this child hyper running around the fence, making noises that were weird to them? Why? So there was a lot of that stigma, people not walking very near to the fence because of the fear. But again, through that very strong community involvement, we've seen, and it's a testimony really, and I wish the community would speak for themselves. They have seen a lot of, we've seen a lot of positive acceptance of our children.
According to Richard, what motivates him every day is seeing a smile on the children and the clients' faces, especially when they achieve something new.
The motivation here really is the children and the youth we serve. You know, as a person, I can say I've seen, and like I was saying, disability is not a special, it's not a members club only, all right? Any one of us can get a disability, any one of us. So when you see all that you have as a person, and then you see what the child in front of you, the person, is facing as challenges. This person is not able to move, stretch out their hand and greet you. They are not able to feed themselves. They are fully or dependent to some extent on a person. You ask yourself, what is so unique about you? Because there's nothing you gave to your creator for you to be whole. So when you're able to see and you ask yourself, what is it that you've done uniquely for you to be the way you are? It's a deep journey. For me, I wouldn't say that I came here knowing this reality. But again, because it was made visible to me, now I'm able to ask so many questions. And really working with them has opened doors for me. And for my colleagues, the staff members, I've seen how we've grown as a team. How many doors they have opened, how many things they have done for us. Because again, if you put the person first, without thinking of what is in it for me, I believe that is where the motivation and the result is coming from.
On 10th July 2025, the center celebrated its 10th anniversary, marking a decade of incredible milestones. The celebrations were vibrant, filled with dance, testimonies, and heartfelt speeches.
Kutoka 2017 nimekuwa nikikuja huku na nisaidia sana. Sikuwa natembea, sasa hivi naweza tembea, nimejifanyia vitu. I'm a student from Catholic University doing counseling and psychology. Kwa mimi ni mtoto wa Mungu sana. Nataka kuencourage na verse ya Bible. John chapter 9 verse 24.
ORIONE is the best. First, they have the tools. Second, they are Christian foundation. So when we come here, when we are so down, they give you motivation. Second, they have the best daktari. Mine is to encourage those mothers who are back at there at home. It is not easy. But when we meet together, God give us that grace and God give us that strength. So wewe mama uko nyumbani, toa mtoto wako, mlete therapy, wacha kutane na watoto wengine, asome na jipende na asikie hata yeye ni kiumbe cha Mungu.
We shall always work together to support in whatever way we can these young people who, when you are working for, you are really doing the work of God. And God will do your work. Everybody who does that, we are sure that if you do the work of God, God does His work in you.
We launched a dispensary, community dispensary. It's called St. ORIONE Dispensary. This has been made possible by one of our main donors in the United States, Hickey Family Foundation, who really supports our health programs. Why this dispensary and what services are we offering? In the last 5 years, we took a very strategic direction to focus and improve on early intervention. And why early intervention? Because previously, we were receiving children above the age of 10 years, and it was becoming, through our experience, a sort of challenge in giving progressive interventions. And after working there, and we've seen the progress in now the children below the age of 10 are really progressing in mobility, in speech, in confidence, social interaction. We also now realize and emerging another gap that is in maternal health care, because some of these conditions develop right from the womb. And we realize within this locality, we don't have a focused intervention in that. So this dispensary is coming in to strongly give mother-child health care by providing scans and giving family advice and accompanying the families right from conception to the end of the maternity journey, so that at least we can empower them with knowledge.
Samuel Mushiri, the sub-county administrator of Kajiado, graced the occasion as the chief guest.
If we talk about especially people living with disability, you'll find out that most of our institution, we are limited in terms of also resources, in terms of capacity. But when we get partners who can partner with the county government in enabling us even to take this healthcare to another level, this goes a long way in ensuring that the facility that people need gets closer to them.
From offering vocational training and therapy services to hosting awareness campaigns and integrating clients into mainstream society, the center has touched hundreds of lives. The community's perception of persons with disabilities has shifted significantly, thanks in part to ORIONE's continuous outreach and education efforts.
The first way that we work with the local community here is, number one, to show them a daily testimony of this reality by making it visible to them first, and inviting them to come and see the reality that we are in. And as you see, we are in the farm. This was the first project that we started. The founding director, Father Alejandro, started this farming project because we all know as a community we need fast food security. Along the way, we've done a lot of community programs, outreach programs, training of health workers, teachers, local police officers, going out in the community doing disability awareness campaigns, trying to educate them on the conditions, what they can do in their own realities. You don't need a big treadmill, you don't need all the equipment that you see here. You can improvise and adapt with what you have. This has been another way, and most importantly, in collaboration with the parents and our beneficiaries, promoting again the community and the families to bring out their children. Because once again this reality is made visible, people buy into it. The other way we've worked with is through strong collaborations and partnerships with the local authorities, governments, local embassies around, and the community members.
At the core of the center's success are its dedicated staff. One of them is Joseph Getao, a nurse who has worked at the center for quite some time.
Getting to know these kids, they are a bit nice. Okay, they are very nice, but they are a bit tricky in knowing how to handle them. We have mixed condition. We have some students with autism and cerebral palsy at the same time. We also have a Down syndrome. For the autism, that is a spectrum. Actually, it is just it's actually not that known to the people. But now, basically here, when you're on the CP, the brain has not yet developed vizuri, so that is where they are prone to convulsions. So most of the time I'm dealing with the convulsions, I'm dealing with the upper respiratory tract infection, because most of them are touchy, drooling every time. But that is the joy we have here working with them.
Despite the progress, the center faces significant hurdles, one of the most pressing being inclusive education. Richard admits it is a constant struggle. He also points out the lack of funding and societal stigma as ongoing battles. Yet, with every challenge comes an opportunity for innovation and resilience.
We have a lot of good cases, progress, really. We have children. I would don't know if you want a specific, but we've seen cases of kids who have come here without good mobility. And since their parents brought them out early, waliwaleta kupata intervention mapema. Na mapema ni lini? Mapema ni chini ya miaka 10. All right? So wakianza kupata therapy wakiwa at that young age. We've seen the case of someone like Tabitha Nyambura, very recent, who came here struggling with mobility. You saw her walk very comfortably. Some, because even for us, really, and this has been the way that we try to communicate to the families. We don't want to sell them unrealistic hope. Number one, this is a lifelong condition. But we want to help them manage it better. Because sometimes there's a lot of prosperity, progress, quote unquote, like, no, if you get therapy at Aponata. No, they are not sick. That is one. They just have a condition that they will live with during their entire life. You look at the years and where you started and the people who have walked the journey, and you realize it's not easy. So that is a very strong achievement for us. And most importantly, also our beneficiaries, that is our students, who every day are coming in, waiting to receive the best from us, with the best attitude and the right frame of being themselves. And these are the achievements we've seen, and we've seen us do demonstration campaigns in farming. We've done workshops for the police officers, workshops for the teachers and healthcare workers. A strong achievement also in a collaboration we have with the Strathmore University School of Law to create disability awareness. The Catholic University of Chile, who we always have visiting professors coming in to support our works. And also the expansion that we're doing in other regions. Every journey has its hurdles, and ours has not been without challenges. From a lot of programming and gradual de-escalation of the stigma and the stereotype about the reality of persons with mental conditions and syndromes. it's still a journey that we continue to walk with our partners, friends, benefactors, and the families. And the challenge there is acceptance. Yeah, acceptance. And this acceptance also brings in a challenge of the competition. You know, our society is very competitive. So sometimes somebody asks, will this child or this youth be able to attend a regular school, go to university? When you listen to that, you see you still have a long journey to make. And we still need to make a lot of progress in creating disability awareness, because this is the first challenge. To make this reality as visible as possible has also been a hurdle, and we face some situations there, but we thank God where we are today. Another challenge is also coming in strongly on the local support in funding, because you see we're working quite strongly with quite a number of embassies and international benefactors. And the idea here for us is to have locals, community, companies, institutions come in and support and try and support these sort of programs wherever they are. So funding has also been a challenge, but we are grateful really for the far we've come, and we are hoping as we mark the 10th, we'll have more support coming in locally. The other place is in issues of policy, the law, and these issues of support in institutions such as ours. The other challenge has been also on a champion of having inclusive education. Actually, it's inclusivity in everything. Inclusivity in education, in healthcare, in the transport industry, and also in employment. But we are working on this, really trying to share our story, sharing the progress, and with the help of our supporters, we are really getting this message across. So these have been some of our challenges, but we are grateful.
Richard's plans for the future are ambitious. He hopes to expand the center's facilities, introduce assistive technology, and partner with local schools to promote inclusive education.
It's a shared vision that we continue to strongly influence the society through the daily testimony of the works that we are doing. We also see a future where we are expanding and becoming a referent models in the other communities, so that we are able to share our knowledge, practical experience with other centers. We also see a future where we are impacting more children, where we are doing more disability awareness campaigns, championing for inclusive education in public schools, regular schools. We're also looking at a future that is strongly sustainable, and that is why we are continuing again to introduce new programs, animal farming, fruit tree farming, the dispensary, hiring of the facilities, inviting more local partnerships and collaborations so that we can be sustainable as we move ahead.
10 years down, a lifetime to go. The journey of Orion is not just a tale of service. It is a testament to what can happen when a community dares to believe that everyone belongs.
Let's bring our children out to watoe nje. There is help, there is hope for them. And again, let's treat them just like any other person. Let's see them first as a person, and then let's make this reality visible. Wacha tusiwafiche, tuwatoe, wapate msaada. Kwa sababu sisi wenyewe tumejionea vile ambavyo wanazidi kuendelea. Waliokuwa wanaweza kuongea wakipata speech therapy, sasa wana make the effort ya kufanya communication. Mnaweza tupata pale kwa website yetu www.orionecenter.org. Pia mkifuata hiki kipindi mtaweza kupata hayo maelezo. Mtatupata pale YouTube. Tuko hapa Ongata Rongai Kandisi, karibu na SGR. Hapa ndio tuko na center yetu ya pili. Pale ya kwanza iko pale Kafurugi, Murang'a County. So that's how you're able to get us. Our phone number is 0702 618 747.